That sign is going to tick me off. All right, you want to do a little countdown?
Yeah.
Okay.
3.
Wait. Good morning, Get Well Soon family.
And happy Sunday.
This is your host, Tyler Kidd.
And your co-host, Angelina Mesa.
And whether you're listening on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, one of our many, many streaming platforms, hello, and welcome to episode 13 of the Get Well Soon podcast, Am I The Imposter? With special guest, Jahnay Ford. Yay. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah,
it's going to be good vibes.
Yeah.
We're really excited to have a special guest on here today. And as you guys know, when we have a special guest, we have a patient report. Let's dive into who Jahnay Ford is just a little bit. Yeah. And then you could tell us about yourself. And throughout the episode, our listeners and our viewers will get a feel of what it's like to be friends with you, to be acquainted with you, to experience you, which is great. I've had a great experience so far. All right. So we have Jahnay Ford. And when we asked you for personality characteristics, she is below the surface level, bubbly and comforting. She is 26 years old, but you're almost 27, I saw.
I am.
Your birthday's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
2-3
18
weeks.
days. Yeah.
Yeah. She's a Leo. And when we asked about like your career versus your dream career, you're living in your dream career of being a therapist.
Yeah.
But also you are a business owner.
Yeah.
Because she runs her own podcast as well called The Honesty Hour. Honesty Hour? Honesty Pod? Sorry.
I know there's so many names. Honest Hour with Jahnay.
Honest Hour with Jahnay. And we were writing on Biggest Dream, and there wasn't really in our survey a real clear thing of what is one, if not the biggest dream like of your life. Like if you had all the resources, all the money, all the time, all everything, what would you do?
I feel like it wouldn't be for me. Like I feel like it would be for all the people around me, like my friends, my family, my loved ones, and just trying to like put out for the world as much as possible.
Okay.
I feel like that would just bring me the most peace, you know?
Like healing.
Yeah.
You want to heal the world.
That's why you're a therapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you already are accomplishing your biggest dream. You are healing the world.
so.
And with your podcast too. You are though.
One step at a time.
One step at a time. One mass group of people at a time. I mean, you've already reached people through like counseling, through therapy.
Yeah.
Then you reach even more people with the podcast.
Yeah.
And then, you do events, you do things like that. You do networking, you reach another group of people. So you are doing your dream goal. Yeah. You might not have hit the where you're saying like, oh, it's perfect worldwide. But I think if you hit that right now, what would you have to look forward to?
Yeah.
So it's kind of fine to do that build up.
Right.
So congratulations on that.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you.
And then can you read my handwriting for additional notes?
Yes.
Because I write in like a
cursive and
like regular.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy.
Additional notes is a collection of stories and experiences that have molded her into a person who influences and is influenced by the people she's meant to meet.
Which is kind of like what we just said.
Yeah. It like all ties together.
That's so funny.
You're just like a wonderful full circle bundle of joy.
Yeah.
Which we talk about all the time. Like you have full circle moments like they just be looping.
Yeah.
Like, you know how like Apple Watch does like close your circles? Your circles just be closing.
Life's crazy sometimes. Like,
isn't it beautiful?
Literally just
I cry.
this morning, I was crying this morning at 5 a.m. I'm like, no way is lifing right now. In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah. Life just feels so good.
Life is lifing.
Life is just beautifully lifing.
Oh, I love that. Is there any other things before we, dive into the podcast episode that you like to talk about yourself, your businesses, or just anything?
It's funny and it's so on par. We're talking today, am I the imposter? And I certainly am because,
me freaking too.
Like
preach to the choir.
There's so many things about me that I feel like people around me would highlight. And I'm just like, me? Really? No. You know what I mean? I really do struggle with like highlighting things for myself. Mm-hmm. So you're asking the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we're working on it. We're working on it.
Well, I prepped for this podcast episode because yesterday with my counselor, we went into my imposter syndrome deep dive. Ooh. And what causes it and what mental perspective shifts you can make to get rid of that imposter syndrome, because I've been struggling with a lot lately. And let me just tell you, I feel phenomenal. After that session yesterday, I feel so much better. I cried, I laughed, I cried, I laughed. I talked about Amsterdam He thought that was funny because I had a great time in Amsterdam. Well, just for the podcast, we'll just say that. I had a great time. Red light district. I may never come back, but I had a great time at red light district.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, you did.
I looked it up. I did. Sounds like a good time.
You might never let a little something. Yeah. Oh, man. Speaking about Matt and my counseling session yesterday, this podcast is sponsored by New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness. As you guys heard, I come here as well. And if you want to elevate your life to the next level where you're going through your traumas, where you're fixing them, fixing those mindset shifts that hold you back and give you blockages in your life, I think that at New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness, from my personal opinion, they do a wonderful job at that, but not in a way that's like, oh, you're this or that, here's a script. They don't diagnose you with a label and then try to fix you within that label. They're going to ask you, well, what causes that to happen? And it can go far as back as when you're a child. It could be something that recently happened. And they do deep dives into the real reason why certain things are happening in your life where you think a certain way. And then they give you sustainable ways to change your mindsets and change your perspectives and like your mental health so that you have longevity in your change and your growth and your healing. So we have the QR code. I'm done telling you guys where it's at because it's always somewhere different every time I say it. It's somewhere on the screen. It might be right on Jahnay. It might be right on Angelina. It just might be missing. Who knows? But you can scan that QR code and get started on elevating and achieving your dream life. Oh, God, I need a breather after that one. Before diving into the juicy details of the reason why you're here, imposter syndrome, we're going to do our weekly check-in, starting with Angelina because she hates when I start with her. And I feel like we got to kickstart her for the podcast. Like, you know, when you like start a lawnmower, like I feel like I'm starting the lawnmower. How's your weekly check-in? And remember, tell them what you did on TikTok.
What did I?
She's going viral on TikTok right now.
Oh.
No way.
Yeah. Yes, she is. We went from like 100-something followers to almost 400.
Yeah.
Her videos over 100K views because she was talking positively about nursing school.
Oh, I love that.
Me too.
I usually don't.
She usually does it, and the one time she
does.
and like the comments are filled with people like just like I feel seen, and I was like, Angelina, I'm texting her like, you need to talk more positive on the podcast about nursing school that people feel aligned with you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we went viral. Our podcast did, not just me. Our podcast did.
she did. They didn't care about me. They said nursing school, please.
So that was a plus. I don't know. Life's just been weird recently. But on a positive note, I'm almost done my semester.
Whoop whoop.
Thank goodness.
Exciting.
So
Amen.
20 freaking days. 20 days. I think less than that. Thank freaking Lord. I need a break. And also, I've been spending a lot of time with my dad and my stepmom and my siblings up there. We've been kind of making the drive up there recently, so that's been a plus in life.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. The camera's about to die already.
Okay. I mean, that's great.
That's fun.
I gotta talk shit. Not about you, but I gotta talk shit about this side. I gotta get my mic.
So funny.
Not our camera saying, screw your sign, Jahnay's the moment. And we're here for it.
Moment.
We're here for it.
Insane.
Maybe your like vibes are so like that it's blinding everything like around
positivity.
you. Like your aura, like your
bubble.
You know
you
what?
might be delulu.
Yeah, let me not be an imposter. Yes, it's me. I am not the problem. I'm the solution.
Yeah. Yes.
Pardon the weirdness, but you're pronouncing my name wrong.
Oh no, thank you. How do I say it?
Jahnay.
Jahnay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for that.
I know I let you do the whole thing, and I'm like,
Let's go. I'll put this part in too.
Yeah,
so
we
that
can
everyone
just
knows.
yeah.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be able to edit the beginning.
That's fine. That's fine.
But I apologize. No, always
here
correct
now.
people. I'm learning that too when people call me Taylor.
Taylor.
Taylor is actually my real name, apparently.
Wait, what?
Not really, like, but you would think by the way people, would think by the way people like call me it and everything. Like, no. And I have spent my whole life just answering, and my mom hates it. She'll be like, stand up. I'm like, if I'm like walking and I am in a situation where I can kind of tell maybe someone might be talking to me and they're like, Taylor, yes, all the time. And at work all the time, nobody believed me. My customers used to be like, it's Taylor, right? No, it's Tyler. And the one will be like, I told you it was Tyler. And he was like, well, that's not a girl's name. And I'm like,
What? Who cares?
Oh my God, all the time. Say
Well,
for me,
my best friend called me Angela.
yeah. How freaking rude. I wasn't going to say it was me.
Her.
Do you guys remember the podcast episode where I brought it up and she was like, I've only ever brought it up once. And I really thought that was it, you guys. I thought we were done. The scandal's back.
We're doing it again.
I feel like I listened to that. It was like one of the like earlier ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Angela, to her counselor.
And then we talked about it with Mara, so a couple episodes ago. Can you say your name for me one more time?
Okay, so the correct way is Jahnay.
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 I like that.
I like that too.
you.
But I
Correct people. Do it.
and correct me if I switch back because it's not out of ignorance. Like we talk about all the time. I need a speech class.
No, I
like
know what
bad.
to do.
Yeah.
Jahnay.
Yes.
Jahnay.
Jahnay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Literally
love that.
think of the name John, Johna.
Jahnay. Thank you.
Jahnay.
That's what I needed because now I won't get it wrong. Jahnay.
You should be a teacher too.
No, deadass. Like I'm good now.
So funny.
I won't say it wrong again. Like you just gave me a visualization of what I need to say. Boom.
There we go.
Thank you. Sorry about that again.
It's okay.
But let's check in with you. How are you doing? Well, it seems like
You're
life's life in.
Yeah, life is good right now. Life's good right now.
Yeah,
period.
be positive about
Yeah, life's good right now. I'm blessed.
I like to say, and I said this to you the other day, life's always good, and sometimes bad things happen, but are they really bad? Because a little backstory, me and Jahnay met because she had posted in Philly Queens, this Facebook group. She was having all these technical difficulties with her podcast, and she was like, I just need help. Like, what do I do? And I saw it, and I reached out to her, and now we're here. And I had said, and there was a lot of other things that twirled and everything, but I had said to her, like, if you hadn't run into that situation, that bad moment of things like not working and like frustrating you, you would never have posted in that Facebook group and we never would have met.
Yeah.
And like all the stuff that we've been working on, like it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, which is insane.
Yeah, you need like an up and down in your roads.
True, it helps get you to growth and heal and stuff like that. And who wants a flatliner? Like,
That's boring.
come on, give me a little thrill, give me a little adventure.
It's for the plot.
Traumatize me a bit. Apparently, I grow and heal every time. That's apparently why I keep getting traumatized.
Love that for us.
But yeah, I agree. Like, life is lifing. By the time this
You're thriving right now.
I am. Life's getting good. I was hitting a rough spot for a moment, but I figured out what that rough spot was for. Like I said, I would just be getting traumatized for some things and kicked my ass and like, I'm doing good. And by the time this comes out, my drink will be out. Fixer Upper Hydration Energy Hangover Remedy and Cocktail Mix. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's always tagged through our podcast. Go check it out. You guys are going to be obsessed, and you can order it online and for pickup. So it's for everybody. And I made my own full website for the first time ever, and it's just, I'm so excited.
So cool.
I'm so excited to see. Yeah, like you just shop right on the website.
Really?
You pay, you pick it up at a certain time, like business hours, everything.
It's so cool.
Thank you, Square.
So excited.
I'm the delivery driver with my little special backseat queen.
I'm going to hand the bottles to Savannah and say, throw it. And just have her throwing it at people. Like, nobody's going to get mad at a baby throwing them their product, even if it hits them in their head.
Daughter?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I say it every time. She's my birthday twin.
Really?
Yeah, she had her on my birthday. Because that was my
special.
birthday gift.
Yeah.
What a gift.
She didn't get a push
You're a good
present.
gift
I got a
giver.
gift. No push present. It was just about me that day. And then now Savannah. So let's dive into imposter syndrome because me and Angelina have talked about it before. We experience it.
We experienced it live. Actually.
Yeah, like we didn't realize what it was until we got a submission during the podcast and we read what it was. And we both were like, wait.
We looked at each other and we were like,
we have this bad, really bad. And so that was crazy that, you guys witnessed a live diagnosis via Google, how most of my diagnoses go anyway. But imposter syndrome. So according to Google, while we're here, imposter syndrome is that uncomfortable feeling you experience when you think you're unqualified and incompetent. And I actually have something really quick that I found on Reddit when we were doing our anonymous submissions, like a little cartoon. I'm going to pop it up here that kind of gave a good visualization to what imposter syndrome is, so I'll let you guys look. So it's like a little cartoon you guys will see, and it's the boss saying like, Bob, can I speak to you in my office? And Bob going, oh no, I'm going to get fired. She realizes it was a mistake to hire me. And then the boss is, Bob, you're doing a great job. I'm giving you a raise. And him leaving and still going, oh no, more days until she realizes I'm a mistake. And I felt like that gave a good idea of even when you're doing so many successful things and you're overqualified for the job and you're overperforming and you're doing boom, 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 boom and going like, oh, I'm a failure. Oh, that's not enough. I don't deserve this. Like I'm not doing enough. I'm not stuff like that. And holy crap, how common that is.
Yeah.
And you didn't teach that in school. So here we are, the Get Well Soon podcast, to teach it to our listeners. And okay, I remember you guys, I was going to say, relax, everybody. Hello. I'm in a great mood. So I'm all over the place. Whenever I'm like, meh, I'm like, I have one train thought. It's the only time you guys will get me mellow. When I'm like this, I'm like, so I was going to say that imposter syndrome shows up in like, not just in self, but in like the work life, in your love life and stuff like that. So as two people who also have experienced imposter syndrome, where do you feel as though you experience it the worst or the most, I guess I would say?
I'm going to say professionally.
Professionally, like within having a business and like being a business owner and the success of your business?
So mainly it started in grad school because I'm a couples therapist, and my most asked question is, how can you help a married couple when you're not married yourself? And sometimes things like that can see your
Backhand.
head. Yeah.
That's a backhanded. Sorry, keep going.
Because then you feel like you have to defend yourself and all the things that, and I worked hard, and I have my master's degree. I worked hard, and I shouldn't have to defend my degree and all the things that I've acquired throughout that time. So when people just like approach me in that sense, in terms of my intelligence and how I can help people, it just makes you feel as though you're not competent, So it almost like brings the imposter syndrome to life in a way.
It puts Miss Stupid on your shoulder. We've talked about Miss Stupid's like that little thing right here.
Yeah.
That whispers those stupid thoughts to you, and you just gotta flick her off.
Yeah.
I have a question, and I'm sure you've been asked that multiple times, but do the people who ask you that question, are they married themselves?
The most recent most recent person that asked me something similar to that was like my brother, and he's not married, and
he doesn't have. Okay, I was before our like battery decides to play like roulette with us today. I asked you that about if the people who are coming at you in that way are married themselves, and I was expecting you to say no, they're not, because when you're happy genuinely and all you look for is the positives and how to uplift people, like I've already known that you're a couples counselor therapist. Not once have I even thought about your relationship status. Not once have I thought about what makes you qualified and what doesn't make you. You said that's what you are. You went to school for it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And if I ever hear people
have the degree, you worked hard for it. Like, that's it.
And even if
Don't
you hadn't
question
if you hadn't told me you like didn't have a degree, I wouldn't have asked you if you did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said like, "Oh, are you certified to be what?" No, that's what you want to do. That's what your passion is. Boom. So, it's just when people come to you, I think this is a good thing to keep in mind when your imposter syndrome's coming from outside viewership. One, you can't control how people think about you. Mm-hmm. You can't control what people say about you, but you can control what you say and think about yourself.
Yeah.
So when someone comes to you and they say something like that, think to yourself, what about their life and their mindset is even making them question this right now? Yeah. It's probably because you're not married. It's probably not to come at your brother.
Come on, my brother.
Because sometimes brothers need a little pow. Come on, we all have brothers. Come on,
like,
I've chased you around with knives, Dominic. Like, and Dominic has body slammed me to the ground. Don't get it twisted. Elijah's getting a little ratty now too, and I was like, "You're small. I will dunk you." Yes. Like, this is the age where I can get you back. Once he grows like Dominic, I'm like, I'm done. I'm retired. Yeah. They're all 6 foot brothers. I can't do this, you know? But I would hope you can keep that in mind moving forward, because like, screw that. You did the work. You did the work. And if you weren't meant to have that degree, you wouldn't have achieved it. If you weren't skillful enough to have that degree, you wouldn't have achieved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a good little
Thanks.
tidbit. And how about you, Angelina? Where do you think your imposter syndrome shows up the most? I think I just slurred my words. Sorry.
Probably school and professionally too. Like when it comes to the podcast, and definitely school.
Imposter syndrome with the podcast? You don't think you do enough?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I apologize all the time to you.
And what do I say? I threaten violence. I'll smack you. I'll kick you in your shins. Oh, no, you do. And that's why I always try to tell you how, like, you do a really good job, like, all the time. And with everything that you do. I might, like, blow your phone up with 1,000 things and, like, all this other stuff. But no, I say it all the time and I mean it. Like, I couldn't imagine doing this podcast with anybody else. I can't imagine anybody else showing up the way you show up with everything that you always have going on. Like, yeah. Well, I'll start sending you a little bit more reminders now that I know you have a little imposter syndrome with the podcast. But also, if you weren't doing a good job, you wouldn't have.
Oh my God!
Well, you did. You blew
podcast.
You blew up the TikTok page. We got so many new followers and people listening into us now. And all these people, they came from the one video, but now they get to watch so many of our videos and so many things that can help them in their life. And now they can say like, oh my God, I was scrolling on TikTok. I saw this girl talking about nursing school. She's from the Get Well Soon podcast. And someone goes, the Get Well Soon podcast. They look it up. And it's just like a domino effect that you started by being a little positive jelly bean. My intrusive thoughts are like out today.
Yeah, you're just rolling. Meanwhile, I'm thinking about like my exam currently. Like,
it's all right.
What time is the exam?
11:30. But I have to meet with my like study people before so I can refresh before.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Your mini hats.
Yeah.
Props to you.
Jahnay, did I just say your name?
Jahnay.
Jahnay. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I was gonna correct you. I just wanted you to have the autonomy to realize it yourself.
I feel like an asshole.
No, don't.
Because I've been saying it the one way for so long. That
You should have just smacked her the first time. She said it the first.
And to be honest, I'm the type of person that if you backhanded me and was like, that's not my name, I would have been like,
props.
Yes. Okay. Props. I would have been like, Sat. Jahnay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's when I go to talk super fast that I'm going to speak nice and slow, everybody.
I'm going to just randomly ask you how to pronounce my name throughout the episode.
Thank you. Quiz me.
Quiz you.
I'm actually about to talk about how I'm not in school, so I wanted to know if you have any advice or tidbits for beating imposter syndrome when it comes to being in school, because I went for 2 months and I dropped out. Peace, love, started my own business, which is all fine and stuff like that. I did love school. I miss school. I did go back to school for 2 certifications through RCBC for like business and stuff like that. But you guys, like, you're doing classes, you're doing exams, stuff like that. I never really did that at the level that both of you did. So I almost don't really know how to speak from experience in saying beating imposter syndrome with schoolwork and like in the terms of school for Angelina. So I don't know if maybe you have any advice or tidbits.
So the short answer is no. And because the truth is, so honestly, okay, so as a therapist, when you graduate, you have to acquire a certain amount of hours, and through that, you need supervision. Yeah. So I was just saying to my supervisor, I'm like, I don't understand why people pay me to do this work. I was like, I don't really understand. And she always reminds me, she's like, I am your supervisor, yes, and also I still get imposter syndrome. And I'm like, thank you, Lauren. Shout out to Lauren. She's great. I'm like, thank you, Lauren, for just reminding me that we're human and that it's kind of natural to feel that sometimes. Yeah. And also being in a space where you don't allow that to, is it me?
It's me. Oh.
What's happening today?
Oh.
It was
coming out.
Yeah. I think so. That'll fix the problem. I'll tell you that. Just disconnect it.
You know the song coming.
Hey, I was like, did my mic? I was like, did my headset go out? No. Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Wait, that really got me. I literally, like, you said, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like,
well, that's hello. I'm like, the song, there's like a long pause.
Yeah. You wanted to give accuracy.
Yeah.
You wanted to give like
you can't just say, I'm coming out. And then they're gonna be like, what song is that? And then you have to kind of sing it, you know?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Oh, not that song, but that's a really good song.
Which one do you say?
That takes me back to Just Dance.
Yeah.
That's literally where I got it
Just
from.
Dance had the best song.
Come on, I had all of Just Dance 2, Just Dance. That was when I was at my best shape, you guys. Playing Just Dance every day for hours as a kid.
I need to get a Wii.
My kids will be playing Wii growing up. I don't care what crazy
Nintendos.
Oculus spaceship devices they have for kids. Then you will be playing.
I don't
Wii.
know how that doesn't make kids like want to vomit. I put that on one time and I was like, whoa.
My little brother whacked me when I say in the back of my scalp, right here in that soft spot. He came down. Bop! I was like, everybody, and my mom had people over. Everybody in my house went quiet. That's how loud it was, and they were like, "What was that?" And I was like, "My head." And Elijah like flipped his thing. Was like, "I told you can't be in this radius." I was like,
No
you
way.
little mother.
That response is wild.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was, I will say it was in like the like. I told you couldn't be in the radius like that. You know what I mean?
felt bad.
So
Yeah.
he felt bad. Not like
no, he
stressed.
always, and he cries. He cries anytime he hurts someone's feelings or anything. Like, I just love him so much. Oh. I love seeing him every day. I'm going to kidnap him when I move out. I'm so sorry, Dana. Like, it's just raps. Like,
Dana.
He's coming with me. Oh, yeah, that's my mother, everybody. Sometimes I'm on a first name basis. I'm one of those kids. I know people are like, how dare you call your mom? But like my mom, she likes being called Dana. Like if you say mom, she's not answering you.
Have Savannah call me Angelina. You'll see a smack.
I'm going to teach her to call you Angela.
I'll smack you and I'll smack her.
Not the best he's getting pop. Oh, no. I just, like, my mom really doesn't answer if you call her mom. If you say mom, mother, mom, mommy, she's not answering you, especially if she's around somebody. You say Dana, yes. So that's why, like, I've learned just call her Dana.
I think mothers, once they're moms for so long, they, like, tone out the word mom because you just want silence. So you're just like my mom does it. I'm like, mom. And then I'm like, Brienne. She's like, what?
See, I'm not even gonna.
No, it's like a thing, and I can see that happening. I kind of already want it to happen.
And I came across this therapist, and it was like first or second session, and I'm paraphrasing. And she basically was like, "Oh, you have mommy issues," and I was like, "That is not appropriate, ma'am. You don't even know me. You don't know my name. You don't even know my name." And so I literally worked up the courage to tell her how uncomfortable that made me feel. After that session, she never like reached out to me, nothing. And I was like,
oh, that's crazy.
yeah,
But good for you for putting
Standing
your
up
foot
for-
down.
yeah.
Thank
Like
you.
it's the second session. Like, don't tell me I have mommy issues.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Just let me talk and tell. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed
Right.
to go to therapy, listen to them the first couple, and then get comfortable,
Right.
and then explain
Literally though.
what's going on.
Build the rapport. Yeah.
My therapist before Matt, first of all, I scheduled in person. I don't like telehealth. I just feel like, one, I'm not going to show up, and two, I can so lie to you through a screen right now and tell you I'm fine. And I showed up for a telehealth, an in-person visit, and when I got there, the lady was like, this was supposed to be virtual. And I was like, no, it's not. I don't book virtual. Right off the bat, didn't like her. And then she proceeded to tell me, like, I was talking like about my mom a little bit, and she was like, you need to cut her off. Cut her from your life. Don't ever talk to her again. Like, I was like, Jesus, whoa, way to start, whatever. And then, like, at the end of the session, she was like, do you want to schedule again? I was like, no. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was like, no, thank you. Like, this was, you actually just traumatized me more than anything else in my life has. Yeah, that was crazy. And then I stopped. I was like, that was my last straw with therapy. I was like, I'm done. Like, whatever. And then my friend Miranda Sackner, I owe her to the day I die. She was like, I go to New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness, and it's so nice, and it's different, and the different approaches. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. Yeah. And like, Matt, peace and love. Matt really gets me through it. Like, and he cracks me up too. It's like, I'm like, that's my bestie.
Wait, can I ask you, how is it having a male therapist?
I love it. It's my first time having a male therapist. And I also think, though, it depends on more so where your trauma stems. Like, I have trauma from both mom and dad.
Okay.
But it's different. I've always had female therapists, and I feel like they've triggered traumas for me.
Okay.
Versus, like, I'm so comfortable with having a male therapist. Like, he doesn't trigger me. He doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. You ever see the trend where it's like the man or the bear?
Yeah.
You know,
haven't seen that?
It's basically people saying that they would rather be with a bear than be with a man.
Yeah.
Agreed 1,000%.
To be alone, or like if they're in a situation where they're left alone.
If you left your child in the woods, would you rather a man be there or a bear?
And people say like a bear.
I'd rather a bear. 100%.
If it came to Matt and a bear, I'd pick Matt.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, I love that.
I don't think he listens to the podcast,
Matt.
but if you do, peace, love.
You could tell him you shouted him out.
Yeah. I'd be like, I picked you over the bear. He was like, what the fuck? What is that?
Means a lot.
Yeah. But I just want to say for you real quick, for school with imposter syndrome, sorry to circle back, everybody. You're like, I'm going in circles. I think, and I've told you this, it's, especially when it comes to manifesting, having so much faith in yourself. And it's hard when you get like those little thoughts, but still having so much faith in yourself that even if you don't believe it at first, when you get that thought, fuck off. Get off my shoulder, Miss Stupid. And like, cause like, for instance, when I used to have like self-image issues and I used to wake up and be like, oh my God, I'm gorgeous one day. And then I wake up the next day and be like, sorry, everybody.
Stomach's growling.
And the next day I'd be like, oh, like you look like that. And I compare myself to other people. I started on those days where I looked at myself and I was insecure, literally just saying, I don't care what I'm seeing in the mirror right now. I'm a badass bitch. And that's the end of the story. Yeah. And now on those days where maybe I wake up and I'm hungover or I have extra dark under eyes or whatever, the moment that thought even kind of starts to my brain automatically goes, and I don't have the thoughts anymore.
Yeah.
So, with just school and stuff like that, just always reminding yourself that if you weren't skillful enough and meant to be in it, you wouldn't be in the accelerated program that you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. You just got to keep telling yourself.
I know. I tried to flick Miss Stupid off my shoulder.
Flick her really, really hard.
I've been trying the last couple of weeks because she needs to go.
She needs to go. She needs to, somebody get her jail time. But did you pick up an anonymous submission?
You said we were doing the ones from Reddit. It said out on the thing.
Well, did you see the person that's been messaging us nonstop on Reddit?
Yes.
Whoever that is, you'll have your showtime. Because I'm going to answer that. I don't know what's happening in our DMs on Reddit, but this one person like really wants me to answer these statements, specifically me, and I don't know why. But hello, because I'm assuming you watch the podcast. I will answer this next week's episode, all your DMs, because we are running out of time today. Because our nursing school bestie has to go past her finals. Hell week. On Reddit, there was somebody who did a submission, but it was more like a helpful submission. And they're talking about how they suffered really bad from imposter syndrome on their first engineering gig. And this is what they did to get rid of it. I assumed I was doing the exact right thing until I was told otherwise and proactively executed my strategy for my projects. So that way, if someone ever asked me why I did something, I could show them why I did it. I could explain why. So he did everything with intentions of, doing certain things in his job and automatically told himself, I'm doing everything exactly right. I'm doing everything exactly right. And then if somebody came and said he was doing something wrong, he says that he waited for negative feedback to come and it never came. And he exceeded everyone's expectations. So I just think maybe that's another thing too of like when we're doing things and we're trying to be this perfect, like a perfect person. Because I think that's where imposter syndrome also kind of comes from, the image of being perfect or the thought of being perfect, which nobody will be perfect until the day they die. Like you will never be perfect in life. Yeah. And if you ever think that you're perfect, it means no, because nobody is ever perfect. Yeah. And perfect is boring anyway. Like, I like to be bits and pieces all put together. Yeah. And then broken apart again. And then put together again. And that goddamn battery is blinking. How long do you think I can go?
Just keep going.
But I just think that's like really good advice to don't tell yourself you're doing stuff wrong all the time. Let somebody else, let the people around you, people like overseeing what you're doing, tell you, because most likely from what everybody keeps saying, they're not going to, because you're actually not doing anything wrong. You're doing everything over the expectations.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Nice little tidbit we got from our Reddit submission. And honestly, at this point, if anything else happened, I would be like, you know what? We're staticking and thumping and our way through. ASMR. What? ASMR. Jeez. As you guys noticed, we went from 3 to 2. Angelina just had to run. Got to do her nursing school things. Wishing her the best of luck for this exam week, aka what she calls Hell Week. But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there was a quote that you really like for when it comes to stuff like this.
So it's wait a minute.
It's okay.
I'm doing the best. Oh man, I just had it. I'm doing the best
With what I have?
with where I am. It's something along those lines.
Yeah.
Something along those lines in terms of just like reminding yourself that where you are, you're doing your best, and your best should be good enough. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I think that we turn to ascribe to this like unachievable, like I need to be the best of the best or the perfect or
My counselor yesterday, because I told you guys that I had talked about this with him yesterday, he said that that I'm thinking that if I do all these things all at once, that I'm going to have this light bulb moment of being perfect, the light bulb moment of I'm this version of myself that I'm trying to achieve, and just like this, but that's not how it happens. It's a very gradual thing. It's a very much trial and error.
Yeah.
The way that you grow and heal is by messing up.
Yeah.
You don't grow and heal by always getting everything right.
Yeah.
And when he said that, he was like, you're not going to have that boom, wake up one day and everything is perfect moment. So stop trying to achieve that moment, because you're going to be chasing something that's not achievable. And I was like, wow. And it's funny you said the quote, little synchronicity, because when I walked in, every time I walk into my like counseling session, he's always like, how you doing? And yesterday my response was my best. And I definitely got that from Mara. So Mara, she's listening, because when we asked her something on the podcast, she was like, my best.
I love that.
Or my worst, whichever one of the day. Or my best or my worst. Is that what she said? My best or something. And it stuck with me. So like when I feel like I'm like bleh, and someone's like, how are you? Whatever. My best.
I love that.
I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This won't be long. So
okay.
Someone like reflected back to me, and it's actually like quite deep. But they said, whose approval are you trying to gain? And I realized in that moment that I'm trying to be the perfect daughter for whomever, and realizing that you might not ever get that recognition that you're seeking in ways that you didn't even think that you were seeking, just trying to be the best at everything.
Can I battle something you just said?
Go ahead.
So you said you might not ever get that like recognition or like validation, but you can just give it to yourself. Don't get it from anybody else.
Right, exactly.
You are the best daughter.
Yeah.
Slay. I mean, you have, not to be morbid, but people kill their parents.
Yeah.
You're not out here killing your parents. You're not out here taking advantage of your parents. You're not out here mentally abusing your parents. I mean, I've witnessed people mentally abuse their parents, and I'm like, oh, you've never been hit before.
Yeah.
Like you, and I don't, everybody knows when I say that, I'm just, I don't condone hurting your kids to get them to listen. But I have said before though, some kids need a more severe type of punishment, or because like their upbringing clearly wasn't, I mean, I've watched somebody hit their mom before, and I'm like, oh, you're brave.
With your own 2 eyes.
With my own 2 eyes. Had to leave the house.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going home.
Yeah, I would
because my household, like, we don't. It's okay, footsies again. We don't like, so there is like kids who are like evil and mean to their parents and stuff like that. So, I don't know what might make you feel as though it holding back from feeling like you're doing your best as a daughter, or that you are the best daughter, but how we say seeking validation, we are wired this way growing up, and we're told to perform for school, and we're told to perform for our parents, and told to perform. We're always, from the young age, we're told to perform. And it builds up this thing where you're always looking for validation from everybody around us. But really the only validation you need is yourself.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing is right, and it's what you want to do, and it's your intentions, and you're doing your best, I don't give a damn what Kevin said about me. I don't care that he said that, whatever. And like, when I was with a social media agency, like, oh my God, I was like fighting for validation all the time with them. And then once I finally kind of towards the end of it, I was like, screw this.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me like whether or not what I posted is good or not. And like, no offense, obviously like that's their job and it's the career and it's whatever. Screw the job, screw the career.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I liked the video, I posted it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not my niche. All right, well, I posted it anyway.
Yeah. You should feel good about the work that you're producing. And I think that's what makes better content anyways, when you're drawn or like connected to it.
And it's genuine, and you're not doing it as like, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. We have a segment called Peek and Pip, You know how it works?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for anyone who's new listening, peak is like your high moment. Like this moment put me on like this pedestal, and then your pit is just an unfavorable kind of moment that like I could have lived without. And we kind of do peak and pit so that you can balance out the bad and the good that might be happening, and also silver line like this happened, but this happened type of thing. But real quick, I have to change the battery again. I wish I got paid every time I had to change this battery today. Oh my God. I'd be rich. So I think it's probably better to start at pit and then go to peak, like elevate, which I never thought about till now. I think we usually start with peak and then pit. Yeah. I think that's backwards. I think we should do pit then peak. Mm-hmm. If you have one, don't force a pit.
I was going to say, is this for the week?
Week, episode, this month. It just kind of is like anything within your current cycle of experiences you're in right now, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So maybe I'd say, you know, when like things are really good in life and your brain just does not think about the like negative or the unwanted thoughts or whatever the heck. And so like initially like trying to think about it, it's like, I really have to think about that.
You don't have to force it then.
Yeah.
No pit.
Yeah.
That's okay. You don't have to have a pit. It's just meant that if you do have a pit, you would have a peak to kind of balance it out. So if you know pit, you ain't got a pit.
I got peaks.
We're here for the peaks. We're peaking. We're peaking.
Yes.
Peaking.
You're peaking.
I think, okay, I do have a pit, but it's like not a real, like it's not. Also, Mara's getting a lot of shout outs in this episode because like there's a lot of things from her episode I was rewatching and it stuck with me. She was talking about when like you're sad about a partner or like a guy that you're no longer talking to, an ex. And I realized that I had my heart tested a little bit recently, a little deeper than I thought. And I have no idea why. So like, I don't know what the hell happened with that, but I have been like going through like the emotions and, you know, the thought process and the healing and stuff like that. And I was really down bad about it for a couple of days. And then I realized like, and Mara had said this, feeling sad about missing somebody or whatever just means you're not folding. Like you're not like because they don't deserve to be talked to. They don't deserve to be communicated to. They don't deserve any more chances. So like I'm standing for me. I'm standing on business. And that's why I feel that way versus if I was like bending and I was like, oh my God, like why this, why that, like beg. I wouldn't feel necessarily the like, I don't know. You just know when you feel in your heart, it's like that kind of like, it's just tight. Yeah. But now it's not tight anymore. I feel great. Aww. For now. Yeah. It's a cycle. Yeah. Something will probably remind me. Because let me give you one piece of advice. Don't take a man to all your favorite spots. Because then you'll never see your favorite spots the same again.
Rebrand.
I'm trying. I got a new coffee shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about as far. Like Pliable's just ruined for me. Oh, the best place ever. just ruined. No. Just ruined for me. It's all right.
For now, though, you're gonna get to a place where you're able to walk into those spaces and I'll just bring affect you.
I'll just bring a new man.
New one.
Just replace. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Just kidding, you guys. This is why nobody talks. Everyone thinks like I was at the bar. I went out for once and regretted it. This is why I stay inside. But I had 3 guys tell me I scare them. And not because like I'm mean or anything like that. They were like, you scare me. Like you're beautiful. And there's just definitely, and a lot of times everyone's always like, I know you talk to like a lot of guys. And I'm like, being a bad bitch doesn't equate to that because I actually don't talk to anybody. I talk to myself in the mirror, in the car. You can be scared of that because people be like, who are you talking to? I will do it in public. Yeah. It's fine because I'm by myself so much that like it's just me and me. Some people are like, oh, you scare me. Like you're so beautiful. And like, I know I'm like, how's it feel to be wrong?
I truly think that men are intimidated by women that have their shit together.
Oh,
hot take.
I'm gonna boost that hot take and take the I think part out. Men are 100% intimidated by women who have their shit together when they don't have their shit together.
Because more times than not,
You're not secure. They're not.
they don't have their shit together.
No.
And then you have a woman that is fully capable of doing things all by herself and wants to do those things by herself, mentally, physically, emotionally. And then what do you bring to the table? So you fall short. So when you approach that woman, you're automatically feeling like you are at a default,
Which is great. But you know what? If you took the chance to get to know that woman, you would realize that there is parts of her and parts of her life that she doesn't want to have to do it for herself.
1,000%.
Like, yes, I can. And I do it beautifully.
Yeah.
But I would like you to take the load off.
Yes.
I would like you to play that role in my life.
Yeah.
So stop being a little scared pussy bitch. And I'm sorry, I was gonna try and change my wordage, but that's scared pussy bitch. Because
get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
And or you know what? I like to think that it's a process. Like be in the process of getting your shit together.
Yes, that's
we're not perfect.
No.
We're still getting our shit.
That's such a good topic.
Yeah.
Men being scared of successful women.
Yeah.
Noted.
Season 2.
Dead ass. I gotta bring some men on here, and I need to. I mean, I did. I had Raph come on here, and I like picked his brain a lot, and people liked that because he was giving the runaround of what guys do when they're giving girls the runaround, and I was over here disgusted. That episode had me so disgusted with men. I have to remember though that it's not all men and it's never all women, and it's very much individuality. But on a census, on an average statistical basis, some groupings of people do the same thing as each other. And when he told me, there's so many. I'll never forget when he said that, like, guys will keep coming back to the same girl knowing that they don't want to be with her, but because it's comfortable. Gagged me. I literally put out a statement, don't ever talk to me again if that's how you feel.
Crazy.
I put out a official signed document. Do not. And honestly, I've cut off for the most part. There's one more person I got to block, and I just haven't done it yet. Everybody from my past. Rightfully so.
I'm proud.
Thank you.
That's huge. Like, it is so hard to pull the plug.
One of them was not my choice, but take the trash out yourself, I guess. Just peace and love.
Is it the story that I know about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't have the update. Roger, cut this part. And then my peak is life. Life is lifing.
Yeah.
My drink coming out today is tea. We have an hour and a half. No, literally tea. It literally is. And just like having you come on this podcast was amazing. I hope you had a great time.
Yeah.
We got to run it back for part 2.
Oh, absolutely.
We got to run it back.
There's so much more I have to say.
We have a lot. And stay tuned because we're going to be doing another little crossover on Jahnay's podcast. It only took the whole episode. I apologize.
No, that was good though.
I'm not a meanie head, you guys. I swear.
She's lovely.
Truly. I try. Except when I'm like hormonal. Then I'm like, but we will see you guys next Sunday. If you're not following us, make sure that you are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Everything's all linked together, and you can head down to the description to find those links. Bye. Love you. Mwah. Angelina posted like part of her flashcard quiz maybe yesterday or the day before, and I screenshotted it, and I wanted to play. Like I was like, okay, I can get this. Like I can get one answer right out of all the things she has to know for nursing school. I got it wrong. I literally said, all right, well, that's it. I'm never going into that again because I really felt like it was.
She had so much confidence.
I was like, it's A. She was like, it's C. I was like, okay, I get it. Like, never mind. I always tell her like, could never. So prop to you because I understood when you said you wanted to sit in that gas leak a few episodes back and kaboom. That's how I imagine it feels.
Jahnay, it's gonna be like you need a one-to-one by you at all times.
She's gonna slide you her business.
I have some space and on the calendar,